For our fifth and final study in this particular series, we're looking at Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. It's in the key of G. The tune we're going to be working from I'm sure you recognize that tune. And we're also going to see how to play the same thing from a different position. But we'll get to that now. The only mode we haven't covered yet is the Aeolian mode. Now in the key of G, the Aeolian starts on the note E. And that happens to be the relative minor of the key of G. So we're in the key of G, the mode is the Aeolian, which is the natural minor, E minor, and it provides us with the same notes. The same notes being the important phrase here. We mentioned in the other videos as well that modes do have tonalities. And some guitarists don't like thinking of them as positions because sometimes we get captured into thinking of them as only positions. Both camps of school are important because we need to know that there are positions and there are also tonalities too. But you can't really separate the one from the other without losing a bit of the importance of knowing how they relate to each other. Now, on the actual scale, first of all, we're going to start with fret 12 because that's where E is found. We're going to play the Aeolian scale. It's going to sound and look like this. Okay, we got that. And you'll notice that the blue notes are going to sound like this. I left out that note there because that note actually isn't used in the phrase itself. So the blue notes are actually used in the phrase. And you can actually hear the phrase. You're bending that note to sound like that note. So you're going to have that 16 in brackets on your tab means that the 14 is bent to sound like the 16. And that's what it means in brackets. Okay. The first phrase goes like this. The second phrase goes like that. Now I didn't write the entire phrase down because the purpose of this over here is to get to know what we can do with knowing that these notes are inside the scale. So if I know that my notes are inside the Aeolian, I can add a bit extra. So I can go. And now I've added a whole lot of other things which doesn't sound completely unlike the original. So if I want to create my own improvisation, add my own sort of stylistic interpretation of it, I can. I know that as long as I use these notes, as long as I use those notes, I'm actually in the key. So I can use this to my advantage now to improvise. So I'm not tied up with memorizing note for note a solo. So my new intro for this one could be something like this, for example. Bit extra inside it, but it also sounds pretty cool. Now, what's important as well is to realize that we're not restricted to play any of these 5 studies in the positions that they're written, because if each key has 7 modes and each of those 7 modes contain the same notes, that means I can find those notes somewhere else on the guitar because the notes are duplicated. Here we're going to have a, there we're going to have a, all the same note. So now I can take this and go like this. Notice that it sounds a bit different because over here I'm playing from fret 7. My string is longer, I'm using a thinner string. There my string length is shorter and I'm using a thicker string, so my tone over here is going to sound different because of the sheer mechanical design of the string being thinner and longer depending where I'm playing. And that's nice because now it lets me sort of interpret the song how I want to. So Nice little double stop there. I just want to show you that. So while he's still bent, the pinky comes in. Watch this slow motion. It's still ringing. Pinky plays against it. And then I can pick that and release it. So I actually get this effect. Nice little overtone happening inside there. And I can make this song my own. So the whole drive and purpose behind these 5 studies is the following. A, you must know your scale shapes. Not debatable. Okay, there's only 5. There are actually 2 more. We're only focusing on 5 because they will relate to the pentatonic next study. Okay, that's the first point. Secondly, we want to know that the modes follow a sequence. We must know that it goes Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. We must know that. It's the same as when you do maths. You must know that 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, don't have a choice. That's to happen. When you play guitar, you had to learn that G, for example, looked like that. You just had to do it. Okay, so we must know your scale shapes. You must know 5. 5's not a big number. We must know the sequence of this 5. And then we must be able to recognize the tune, the melody of each song you play. We must be able to find those notes inside a scale shape. And the purpose inside this last study is that you don't have to only find it in one. So if I don't like a, and I want to go here, I can do it there. Same thing, 3 different places. I could probably do it somewhere else as well. There we go. So you can duplicate it. That's the unique thing about a guitar. On piano, you've got one middle C. Guitar, you've got a middle C here. You've got a middle C there. Middle C there. And you've got one hiding right at the top. Right over there. So you've got duplicates of the same notes. That's the uniqueness and the strength of the guitar again. Every instrument has its unique character, its unique strength. Capitalize on it. Take advantage of it. It helps you understand and get to know your instrument better. So hopefully you know your scales. Hopefully you know that there's 5 of the 7 shapes. I hope you know that in each key, those modes as they're written down on your page all got the same notes. It's not the case of E Phrygian's got different notes to C Ionian. Same. So as long as they're related to the key, we find. Any questions, please bring them on. I'll be happy to answer them. I really want us to know this theory because at the end of the day, we want to be able to have freedom to play anywhere on the guitar neck without having to think about it. We don't want to think block position. You want to have freedom the whole way through. Hope you have an awesome day. Bring on the questions and take care.